Hi.
Thanks for having us
Yeah,
here.
thanks.
So today I have both of my colleagues from the
Okay.
same company. So Ikai and Chong will be both from the application engineering
Okay.
department. So myself, I represent sales. Okay.
Mm.
So we recently received one of your inquiries. So
Yeah.
sorry for the wait.
No
I know
worries.
you're waiting for the quotation from us. However, I think there's some clarity that we need before we actually furnish you a quotation itself. Perhaps you can share a little bit with me about this inquiry, how it came about, because I understood that you looking to convert one of the system to Festo Festo components itself.
Mm.
So I'm a little bit confused here how this inquiry came about and what are you actually looking for?
So it's not my wish, but we need to change more and more to Festo by our end customer, and therefore I just need, as I gave you the drawing, I need that working with performance level D, and that's where I just need an offer. We need to move quick because this is something we need to do for the customer, and I'm waiting for another project to come in.
So
Yeah.
basically this is more like an MRO business, and you're also looking to replace the SMC to a Festo one, or is it a request from the end customer itself?
That's the question and customer, yeah.
So it's a request from the end customer. There is a little problem here with the conversion itself because the Festo and SMC part may not be very directly replaceable. So we want to share a little bit on how the solution want to work.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I go through the application here, there are something that we are lack of that when I try once we come with the solution. First thing is, may I know what is the flow rate required for this application,
The flow rate?
or is there any requirement on the cycle time?
Does that change the function? There's a requirement on cycle time. I think currently it's 2 seconds. So I need to be exactly the same.
Yeah, thank you. So would you?
please? I have another meeting.
Yeah, sure. Would you be consider like a minor change or a minor modification in the current system?
No, we
Perhaps,
can change as long as it's cost effective. We can do that.
Right, so perhaps a valve terminal. Is there any like a space constraint or any concern on the space?
Is that more cost optimized than the current solution?
Sorry,
Is that more cost optimized than the current solution?
it can be. It depends on.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I think from here you mentioned that you need the PLD, but from what we understand that once we change all this as your requirements, we
Mm.
can get you the so-called components. Yep. But we may need your help with your team to reassess it and also so-called revalidate the system, because we can propose you with the components that's suitable for that, but we may not be the right person to assess the safety function.
And so what do you need from me? Because I don't get it.
You may need to get your safety teams to look into it once we propose the component to you, so that satisfy your safety requirements.
Okay, can you do that for me?
No.
Why not?
Because, we are not the safety we are not the safety consultants.
Okay.
But we can help you to find the components, but you may need to get your team to certify or even.
And what do they need to certify?
You may need to go back to your safety consultants that may know like the risk assessment, the validations, and so on. And some testing technologies.
Basically, all is that because we are not too sure what you're being tasked by the end user itself. But basically, this is you're converting one brand to another. Basically, it's a Festo solution. But in this itself, it may cost you a lot of additional charges because you may need to revalidate the design itself. You may need to do another risk assessment, and itself may.
But it's already working, right? And we can use that one. This is what I need. Components, done.
Yeah, it looks like it's directly replaceable, but
Yeah.
if you look into the details of this product itself, is actually not exactly the same.
Okay,
replaceable.
so how do we move forward? What do you need from me and what can I expect from you?
Firstly, I think you might want to talk to the end user itself, whether this is something they will expect, there may be additional cost. But most importantly, as from Festo, we're not able to do this part in terms of the safety perspective.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a proposal. I give you my contact data of my end user. and you talk to them directly because they want Festo. For me, it's not so important.
Mm.
And then based on that discussion, you make me an offer.
Kind of good situation. Unfortunately, I think we're not able to do that itself because you're the one who will be liaising with them directly. For us, we are more just on the component side. We are able to give some advice, basic application samples to you. But in terms of evaluating or actually assessing the risk itself, is something beyond us.
So, okay, then how do we move forward? You need from me the what? One more time, what do I need?
Basically, we will prepare the proposed components list for you.
Okay, so
And then
I get an
need
offer.
to get this back to your safety team to review on it.
Okay, review that, and then?
And then your safety team should know the procedure, what to be done.
Okay, when can I receive the list of these components that you're offering?
Should be in 1 day.
No,
Good.
1 week. Okay.
Thanks. Anything else from your side?
Nope.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What would you really want to know from him? What you really need from him?
Essentially, his willingness to modify the system to a fast.
What? Yeah, my question. What you want to need from him? You come to him because you have open questions. What you really need from him? What's really missing there? From the group, what's missing?
I actually don't think we need a lot of information from the customer in this particular case. Because you basically stop him, he's giving you all the functionality, he's giving you the circuit, how it works, and basically saying that a lot of the components are basically interchangeable from almost identical to the original solution. So there's not a whole lot of information you need from the customer. You might need some clarification on 1 or 2 points, but I think you could probably offer a very reasonable solution, maybe with some clauses or something like that to the customer. Maybe some line.
Okay, what is the application by themselves? Let me first give this question. So what's the application by themselves? They're only focusing a lot of the text, yeah, but what is the functionality inside? You are not pneumatic guys, huh?
Intermediate stop.
Yeah, it's an intermediate stop. Yeah, it's a simple stop function. So in this case, we say STO together because with depressurizing.
Yeah.
This is all the point for all of them. So in this case, the only question normally I would have, because there's every time talking about PLD, but missing is in reality, so of course what function? Yeah, in this case is STO or with a depressurization. Yeah. So and this is the full question inside. So and of course we have complete solutions for this one. Yeah. Not really one-to-one replacement with a nice design what he has, you must not do this one. But this was the question. So normally my understanding in this case were what I have to give to him. So only the confirmation, what functions you want to realize there, the performance level D I understand. Because this is why you don't see any sensors inside, so far it's fine. This is why it could only be performance level D, double switching. Yeah, he has made a more or less similar one. I only want to have a confirmation of them. So what performance level do you need? It's inside. So what function is inside? It's the STO. Yeah, this depressurization. Yeah, normally not the big issue. Yeah, and these those parameters want to have. And then I have to make the clarification. Are you able for a complete Festo solution for this one? So confirmation. What function? The PL level is inside. I only want to know, are you able, if we made for you a workable design? So then we could have changed this part. This is what he wants to know normally, and then it's done. Yeah. This is the target. This is the only points behind this thing. Yeah. You don't want to have a consultancy. This was not the question. You only want to have a solution for this one, but the open question is what is the function behind of them? You need a confirmation if it's really, we think about it as an STO. Yeah? And this I want to have confirmed because there's no royalties for this inside. And then, of course, there could be some parts. We cannot replace the parts directly one by one. Yeah? It's not the target, but we can, for this functionality, if we understand this functionality, yeah, we can offer definitely a solution with faster components. But there we need only this very simple question, the sub-function, performance level was inside, yeah, and only then the parameters, in this case maybe some flow parameters, this is all small parts, very simple. Yeah? And there's normally not needed to discuss with the customer about this very simple function, so with your safety team and with your application, this was not needed because the only information were these two parts, we do not need more. Yeah, so by feeling a little bit.
I think one thing is that I did not know that pneumatic also have STO and so on. I was thinking that STO only apply to
They have exactly, the functionality is every time the same. So
It's the same.
in pneumatic, we have in the pneumatic some different names for different functions, but this was not the target here, it's not technical. But of course, the safe stop in this case, or it's a depressurization, you see there on all these parts. Yeah, stop the airflow. Yeah, it's a pneumatic gets every time discrete. Yeah, so I'm not a pneumatic guy too, but they only estimate the function there inside. Yeah, so it looks like there in this case. So, and then of course you have in the Kawamori a very complicated guy, because he was now really the dominant one. Typically D-type. Yeah, the other one was only the G-type. The I-type. Yeah, now it's a very complicated dominant one. So, and you see, because of your questions, he gets angry and not want to spend more time on this. A typical boss. Yeah. So in this case, every time we have a recommendation, if you come to a customer with such one, be prepared. Have a clear target. Of course, you know what they want. Yeah, and to believe what they want. In this case, only want to have confirmation. Yeah, be prepared to come to the customer, not.
But it's not
questions.
part of the training itself. Maybe I make it more complex, but because I needed to play the GM 3 times, I thought you need 3 different characters. But don't get me wrong, when you do the training, your participants will play the whole game. So you, as a trainer sitting not there as the GM, you choose some of your participants, and every time it will play out different. The core is that they don't get trapped, and how they handle the call, and that you give positive and improvement feedback. That's actually it.
So,
And yeah, I played the 3 characters because otherwise I didn't find it interesting enough.
yeah. So in this case, so far was okay. I see we have difficulties. Yeah. But in this case, for the next time, make it clear in your mind what is your target. You must understand, of course, could be that sometimes you don't understand what they have, but mostly we have made this one that you understand more or less what it is. It's not important to go deep technical insight. This was not the part. Yeah, but only really have a clear target for yourself what you need. Yeah, to answer this one. So, and of course, it's clear. So of course, such a functionality you can definitely make parts. Cylinder diameter we know. Maybe if you go there deeper in or put deeper in as application here, you have to know the flow rate so that you know how fast it has to be worked. But at the end, you need only these very simple 2 parameters, like the group number 2 was clear. So they want to have clear performance level and functionality, and then normally it should be worked. But not bad, but it was of course difficult for you.
I think
It was a little bit our
the
target.
first thing is we don't quite understand the question, then we try to steer it to a variant force kind of scenario.
Yeah, but it's not the right form. I believe it's variant. Only because we have only questions.
And what you can of course also do as a trainer, we give you a pack of examples which work for us in Europe. It doesn't mean they work for you. You can choose a couple of them. You don't need to let them choose. If you say, hey, these 3 examples I feel comfortable training and explaining why, then get the other ones out. Or when you say, I have some local ones that I would like to implement, adapt. As long as you have a couple of plays in your training to play this scenario through. and we will give you a deck of examples. Again, if they are not applying for your market or they're too complex for you to coach as a trainer, take them out. Use the ones that make sense for you. We now play these. I'm as we are EA, I would like to have EA examples, of course, but as safety is an overall thing, our training package contains all kinds of stuff. But you can define, of course, as a trainer, which one do you use. So don't be scared of this part, and you let all your participants play out. Every time it will be different. Sometimes you get very technical discussions. Sometimes they're very much about safety. Some will go very well, others not. Just let everybody experience a couple of examples on how real life could look like. I mean, gameplay is always fun. Everybody can always make a little bit of jokes about it.
Okay,
Yep.
then, thank you very much. So